My name is Kristen Sutter, and I'm a member of the Positive Behavior Sports Team from Chicago Public Schools. The goal of today's Positive Behavior Cross-School Expo is really to give schools a chance not only to celebrate the things they've done thus far this year with positive behavior supports, but also to learn from one another and get that all together, where a lot of times schools are isolated in what they're doing and they're not getting a chance to talk to other people and learn to make theirs even better. So this is an opportunity for them to have those conversations and get things started for next year.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's pretty good. There must be some teachers in the house. All right, so we're going to do it one more time, mostly for me because I'm still sleepy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm Jennifer Loudon. I'm the Director of Youth Development and Positive Behavior Support, which is a new department that Jean-Claude created this year. And I just wanted to welcome you all and thank you for coming. I've started sneaking around already to look at your presentations, and they look really impressive and incredible. Just to get a sense of who's here really quickly, how many high schools do I have in the house? Raise your hand. And or hoot. You can hoot. How many K-8 schools do I have in the house? And that is the only time the elementary schools will be louder than the high schools. So, without further ado, most of you have seen this before, but this is something that we started last winter. There was a big committee of school folks and community folks and central office folks that said, what should we do to do a better job supporting the social, emotional, and behavioral needs of kids? And I'm not going to go through this in a lot of detail. We'll email it out to everyone so you have it. But this is what they came up with. They said, you know what, our goal should be absolutely this. And these are our guiding principles. I think this is really important because A, we know we have to do this because it gets us to learning and engagement. And that is what we care about, but we know this is a necessary factor to get us there. And B, the last one I always want to mention, is that we know the first and the best way to improve student behavior is to have really engaging, high-quality instruction, which means teachers need time in the classroom to execute the instruction and not have to be redirecting behavior all the time.
We're really proud of saying that we see students doing what we do, because we believe in the workshop model of telling students, do what we do. So we want them to be respectful, then look at us being respectful. We want them to be responsible, then look at us being responsible. We are going to model that for you. And the most important piece is look at us being safe. We are going to model how safety behavior look like. So we don't assume that students know about respect, responsibility, or safety. We model it for them. So the motto is, I do, you look at me. Then let's do it together, we do, and then we ask the kid, you do it now, and I watch you.
So we know we've had great success with this strategy. We're a brand new school, and all of our scholars came from very different areas and different experiences. So to come together with over 1,000 scholars, we really needed something that would have a positive impact. We've seen very few office referrals, as reflected in our data that Sam, our attorney coach, referred to earlier. Over 1,000 scholars, we've had very few office referrals, and so that's one display of the fact that it's been positive and that it's been working in our school.
Today is just phenomenal. I'm so excited. I'm very proud. And it's not my work that I'm proud of, it's their work that I'm proud of. I'm just happy that we've had the opportunity to give them the resources that they need to come here and put smiles on their faces and share their experiences with everyone else. I think the highlights have been just the turnout today. The turnout has been phenomenal. The boards, I don't know if you guys have seen these boards, but the boards are phenomenal. Just the school spirit and pride that you can see on each and every vendor's and exhibitors' faces when they come by and when they're able to talk so proudly about the work that they've been doing with their students. I think it speaks great volumes to the amount of work and successes that they've been having this school year.
And you'll see the strong correlation between, as the 4, 5, 6 decreases, the number of arrests decreases.
That's correct.
These are the misconduct that generally results in arrest.
That is correct. That's exactly right. That's correct. When restorative justice was not implemented with fidelity, as you can see, the violent misconduct was well over 4 and 5, and those are the actual fights that occur in school. But as we began to ratchet up our usage of our restorative conferences, which you can see is the big purple right here, you can actually see a decrease as we began to utilize more restorative practices. And these restorative practices are not just myself, Mr. Spicer, but also our deans who actually do these restorative conferences, also our teachers who are trained exhibitors. So it's a really whole school approach as opposed to just one person trying to do the whole school. A little difficult. One person. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Clemente is a very good example of Tier 2 at work. They are doing restorative practices, and they're doing our anger management and trauma groups. This is reflecting their misconducts through levels 1 and 6. As you'll notice, tremendous change from the last 3 years. And they're attributing it to a huge number of peace circles done this year, 428. You would imagine then that their 1s, 2s, and 3s would have significantly dropped. And you look at that 2, significant drop in the 2, something that you would expect from a Tier 1 intervention, Tier 2 lower intervention. So that's exactly what we expect. Fantastic job.
Another key component where I see a lot of aha moments, as I have right here, when they just kind of think, oh, I'm going to do this differently, is when students really start to learn what anger feels like in their body. Okay, this is what I feel in my body. My heart starts racing, my palms are sweating. These are the thoughts that are going through my mind. And so when they start identifying that and just gain that awareness, which takes a while, then I can begin changing some of their thoughts. But I feel like that's kind of a pivotal moment. I think the Expo is fantastic because it's a great opportunity to really see what other positive things are happening in the district. I feel like sometimes we're only hearing what's not working, and I just think this is great energy and also nice to collaborate with other counselors and social workers and administrators and just say, oh, this is what you're doing in your school. I've been walking around and collecting other ideas that I'm going to use, for next year.
What do you see as the link between positive behavior supports and the academic development of students, especially regarding the ability for teachers and students to be able to have success with the Common Core?
Oh, she wants me, I'm sorry. Well, actually, as I mentioned before, the link for me is the end result, which is improving student achievements. And you can't begin to improve student achievements if you do not address some of the issues that students are coming to school with. It's really important that the teachers are trained to work with those students and address some of those issues. We develop committees, a social emotional committee. We do parts of PBIS, some of it. We do social emotional learning as well as CHAMPS, and we have a long ways to go, but we've come a long ways as well.
Excellent example of something I would not have been able to do last year without the positive behavioral intervention is I have a class right after lunch, my 6th period class, 21 students. They test out the regulars, they're in the middle of the pack, but they had difficulties at the beginning of the year. There are 35 kids in my 4th period honors class. We use a benchmarking system, we use accelerated math. So what you do is you have to get 80% on an objective in order to pass. For a variety of reasons, I noticed that the engagement and the behavior in that 6th period class wasn't what it was supposed to be, even though I thought I was using all of the discipline in the secondary classroom. And what I realized was, looking at it one day, I wasn't giving enough, noticing the positive behaviors. I was looking at the negative behaviors. And what I started doing was I went to a number of the students that were having the most difficulty. I said, thank you so much for sitting down. Hey, you have your paper out right now. Come on, let's take it to the next level. I know you can do it. I just started doing that. I didn't change anything else. That group of 20 students produced 1/3 more work than my honors kids of 35.
We know that implementing the Common Core standards will take a shift in instructional practices. The teacher now becomes more of a facilitator of learning. Therefore, students must understand and they must practice positive behavior in order to maximize their learning environment. Case in point, our network, the scores in our network, we've gone from 42% meeting exceeding, now it's 62%. And can I say that the increase is particularly only attributed to PBIS? No, I can't. But what I can say is that we now see calmer classrooms. We now see children coming to school ready to learn. I see in the classroom rules posted. I see students sitting on one side of the lunchroom. I see teachers engaging in complimenting students on positive behavior. So I think there's a clear connection between student achievement increase and positive behavior.